If we examine the Star Wars sequel trilogy, there's a lot of bouncing back and forth between exactly who is going to be the couple of the sequel trilogy. Is it Rey and Poe, Rey and Finn, or Rey and Kylo Ren? This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I believe that is indeed one of the main selling points of Episode 9, besides the fact that Lando and Luke Skywalker, and as well as Leia, are coming back into this movie. We also have the interactions between both Kylo Ren and Rey in this film and exactly what they will be doing in the movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which has all to do with a major Reylo moment in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of both Kylo Ren and Rey on board of the Millennium Falcon, just outside of the cockpit. They are both standing in front of each other and appear exhausted with some injuries as if they went through a tough battle. The next goes over the two hugging on board of the Falcon with Kylo beginning to cry, with a tear rolling down his face. The next goes over Rey also with a tear rolling down her face after they stop hugging and Kylo wiping the tear off. Kylo walks away from Rey and exits the Falcon as Rey begins to make her way into the pilot's seat. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, first things first, Rey's lineage. Now, these past couple of days, there were some hints that she may, and just may, very well be a Skywalker in Episode 9, because of one of the descriptions where she touches the Skywalker lightsaber when she's tinkering with it and repairing it. She hears voices of Anakin, Leia, and of course, Luke, and even Darth Vader. And that it has been described before in the past that Rey has some kind of connection to the Skywalker lineage. Now, does that necessarily mean that she is going to be a Skywalker in this film? That's a huge question for sure. However, with the concept of Reylo, her being a Skywalker would be made impossible. So this Reylo moment, I gotta say, it sounds very, very sad, because I want to go over one piece here. Is both Rey and Ben on board of the Millennium Falcon. Now, we've been hearing about this on and off for a very long time now, and I think that's going to be one of the most, I guess you could say, surreal moments in Episode 9, seeing one of the villains actually on board of the Millennium Falcon. Now, I'm trying to figure out exactly as to why these two characters would even be on the Falcon, and why Kylo Ren is crying as he's holding Rey, as he's hugging her, and as Rey is hugging him and lets go, she begins to cry as well, as Kylo Ren makes his way off of the Falcon and she makes her way to the pilot's seat. So does this mean that Kylo is walking away, or is he doing something else? I'm not quite sure. Now, we do know that this movie, and I'm sure that you guys have heard about this big story a couple weeks ago, is that this movie is going to have a huge inspiration on one of the Disney animated movies from the 1990s. And I believe it's either going to be Pocahontas, Mulan, or one of those types of films, right? If you guys look at the ending of those movies, you can kind of see where things could quite possibly go between both Kylo and Rey. So when we look at everything here at Disney, we do know that if you look at what they are trying to do, they are trying to really create a very unique relationship between both Kylo and Rey. We have heard that there is going to be a relationship of sorts in this movie in a very unique way than ever seen before in a Star Wars film. You know, if you look at the prequels, it's all about Anakin and Padme being the romantic couple. In the originals, it's all about both, of course, Han and Leia. And then, now in this scenario, you know, it really is going back and forth quite a bit. The Force Awakens kind of set it up like Rey was going to be with Finn, which I honestly thought was going to be a good idea. Then, after that, in The Last Jedi, you know, they were kind of messing around with Kylo and Rey more. And now, at the very end of The Last Jedi, and if you guys actually read some of the Poe Dameron comics, there is a small possibility that something could grow between Rey and Poe. Even though I personally believe that's not going to happen because it's way too late for these two characters to interact sufficiently to the point where they could actually have a romantic relationship. So, moving past all of this, I want to go over both Kylo Ren and Rey on board of the Falcon. Now, does this confirm that Ben Solo will have a redemption arc? Will Kylo Ren return as Ben Solo once more? That's a huge question now, isn't it? Why else would they be on board of the Falcon? And why is Kylo walking away from Rey off of the Millennium Falcon? We do know that there is a sequence that Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley shot, in which they are both actually injured and next to a crash-landed ship in front of many different extras dressed as actual Resistance fighters aiming their weapons at both Kylo and Rey. So, you can see how maybe Rey is trying to protect Kylo Ren, and maybe Kylo is going to go out there and face the actual Resistance for all we know. I don't know what's going to happen. But anyways, guys, I'm very interested in exactly, what JJ and Chris Terrio plan to do with these two characters. It's probably the main selling point of this movie. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.